after what was covered in this same PC, he sold $8,400 the next 4 days. And you'll see on there the reason why he did so well is he went from 8 appointments to 20 appointments. And what's really cool is he had 20 appointments, he had 22 sales. So Chris actually had more orders than he had appointments. He had a couple customers on the demos who bought extra stuff, or someone just happened to be there on the appointment he wasn't expecting, and they bought some more. And he was already at $10,000 after his 7th. So he was someone, remember we talked about the plus? He ended up going after it, and you'll see he did over $15,000. He actually won the flat panel TV. Yeah, so it's something that's out there, but I want you to realize it's the same pace as you. Here's another person as well, who's one of our top people out of Beaumont. His name is Zach Simmons. Zach, again, very similar to you. He had done about $2,900 his first couple days. A couple more appointments than you. That's why he sold a little bit more than you. But you'll see, again, after what was covered here, these next couple days, popped to $4,700, and then again, after advanced training 2 in his final weekend, which is huge, sold over $7,000, and he also did just a shade under $15,000. So with the start that you're off so far, you definitely have the potential where you could do $10,000 or more in your first 10 days. So I'm really proud of you for that. And I know you had a couple different things that you were looking for, but I'm not sure if you realized all the things that you gained by doing 10,000. One of the things you talked about was the Limonite, right?
Yeah.
By the way, Limonite rocks. It's awesome.
Sounds like it.
Dude, have you ever been in a limo before?
Yeah, it's like 16th birthday.
Like for 16th birthday? What kind of limo was it?
It's like a Lincoln or something.
Yeah, like a stretch town car, something like that. Those are kind of cool. Sometimes they have like the little lights in the ceiling, stuff like that. So that's awesome. When we had one of our most recent Limo Night winners, we actually had, instead of like one of those limos, we actually got a stretch excursion limo.
Cool.
I'm not sure if you've ever seen like one of the like stretch excursion or Hummer.
Drive around town.
By the way, whenever you see those on the road, and you're watching them drive down the road, everyone always does the same thing. But you always like look and you want to see who's like inside it, right? Have you ever noticed that you can never see inside that limo? Yeah, it's tinted, right? But you still look no matter what, right? It's so cool when you're on the inside and you're like looking at every single person as you're driving by, and everyone's like, wow, I wonder who could be in that. And it's so cool, like literally it's like bench, then huge long bench, TVs in the back. I mean, like literally you could have like 3 or 4 people laying full out, and like they wouldn't even touch each other. Oh, it's massive. And then like sometimes people like stand through the sunroof and stuff like that as well, on there. But anyways, we pick you up, and it's like we got a couple other of our Limo Night winners. Everyone's between young professionals, 18 to 25 or so, dressed to the nines, looking really sharp. And we go to a great restaurant. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of a restaurant called Emerald's. That was one of the places we went just recently. It's like the guy. There's this guy on TV. He's like, bam, Anyways, this guy Emerald. This restaurant is exquisite. It's one of the top restaurants when we went to the one in New Orleans, for instance. And we walk in, and like literally walk in, there's 10 of us all dressed, looking so sharp. And like the whole restaurant, like you can hear like force like drop. It's like silence because everyone stares at this group, and everyone's like, who in the world are these people, right? Like you don't see a group of like 18, 25-year-olds roll out of a stretch like excursion limo or Escalade limo. And like that young, they think that we got to be doing something. Either we're in the movies, and some people have no idea. Athletes, they don't know. But we walk in and like, we see, and there's like Emerald in the back, he's cooking. We're like, what up, Emerald? He's like, what up, Vector? Just all fired up. So anyways, we go sit down at this restaurant, and we sit down. Now I'm not sure if you've ever been to like a really nice restaurant before, and you have like unfortunately you have like one meal, and so there's always the really big challenges. You can only pick like one thing from the menu, and so you really struggle with that decision. But we make sure that doesn't happen on the Limo Night. Instead, we order every single appetizer on the menu. They got this thing called the barbecued shrimp. I'm not sure, are you a big shrimp fan? Dude, barbecued shrimp is exquisite. Like literally, it almost tastes kind of like candy when you eat it. It's one of the greatest things I've ever eaten. They've got this like Chilean sea bass that we ate. That's like, even as I think about it, like my mouth's really watering. They've got like this filet mignon. I kid you not, like with your fork, you can cut it. It is incredible. And sometimes they're like, don't eat the bread because you'll fill up, yada, yada, right? But the bread is so good, that no one can like help themselves. Everyone has to try it a little bit as far as bread goes. So anyways, we eat this just ridiculous dinner, and it's just awesome. Always having a great time with it. And then after that, what's kind of cool about New Orleans, or any city for that matter, is afterwards, the city doesn't like turn off. So we actually end up going out and having a really fun time on the night on the town. We have this nice limo, had a great meal, we have a great time as well. That's a cool thing, And by the way, I'd love to see you hit it because then that means I get to go on that really nice dinner as well, Now, with you hitting that limo night, what restaurant would you want to go to? What would be like the place you'd be really excited about?
The Emerald's place sounds pretty cool.
Emerald's? It's one of the top restaurants in the country. It's awesome. Also, I'm not sure if you realize though, by doing 10,000 in your fast start, you realize that you would actually earn $2,000 in your first week and a half. Like your first 2 paychecks, they would total $2,000 or so. What'd you do last summer?
Last summer,
Mowed lawns, stuff like that. How much do you think you made last summer?
not very much.
What do you think?
Like $100 a week.
$100 a week, so you made about $1,500 or so for the summer. Here's what's pretty cool: is we're talking about you actually earning more in your first week and a half than you made all last summer. Like when you mowed lawns, what was kind of your work schedule on lawns?
Like 3 hours a day, something like that.
3 hours a day, 5 days a week or so. So you're working 5 days a week, 3 hours a day, and we're talking in your first week and a half, you'd make more than all of that, and significantly more as well. I'm not sure. What do you think your mom or dad would say if you came home and showed them 2 paychecks that totaled $2,000? What would they think?
Pretty excited. It'd probably be like 100% money.
Okay, well maybe we don't have to tell them about it then, But you're talking about earning $2,000 on there. It's pretty cool when it's your name and then it's like a check and it's a comma check. It's like a 1 or even a 2 and then a comma and then a couple zeros. It's so cool when you get that very first comma check, as well. So you're talking about making $2,000, which is it's significant income, Another thing too, I'm not sure if you realize this, but you would actually pass 4 promotions in your first week and a half. I'm not sure if you thought about how that would actually look on your resume, but think of showing that and going, I started off and actually passed 4 promotions in my first week and a half. Most people would be pretty impressed, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Totally, so you got that on there as well. Another thing as well that'd be cool is at this point, you would be at the 30% incentive level for the rest of your career. So literally, you could do 5 to 7 appointments a week, sell $1,000 a week or so, and you make $300 a week. That's 3 times the amount. Literally, you could work a day or 2 days of the week and make triple what you earned last summer in a whole week. It's pretty ridiculous, isn't it?
It's pretty awesome.
Or what you could do is you could work just as hard as you did last summer, and you could make a whole heck of a lot more than that every single week. You can make comma checks every week if you wanted to. If you're hey, I'm very financially motivated.
I would love comma checks every week.
Dude, how awesome would that be? And you're setting yourself up from that level too. So that's something to think about too. Another thing is also you would be immortalized in our office. In our offices, what we call the WOF, or that's our Wall of Fame. We have all of our different people who've done 10,000 or more in their first 10 days in their fast start. And literally, let's say you don't work with us forever, obviously we want you to, but even if you didn't, you could then, from then on, people would know about you in every training class. People would always know Eric Tolentino and how he did over $10,000 in your first 10 days. And literally, your tale will be told years to come about the great job that you did. Another nice thing, and this is actually one of the things that's most impressive about it, you would accomplish something that literally only 1 out of about 500 people achieve. If you think about it from this perspective, how many people graduated with you in your graduating class?
24.
24, okay? So think of your school, how impressive was it for someone to be the valedictorian of your school?
Pretty cool.
Think if your school is 20 times the size and you were the valedictorian. Or 20 of your school's valedictorians and only 1 person could have done it. That's the kind of thing you're talking about achieving. Something very few people ever can accomplish. This is something that'd be an incredible feat as well, which is a big thing. The most important thing, though, that I know that you'd gain by doing this, though, here, is you would grow and develop your self-confidence. This is something, by you going out and achieving this, from here on out, you would have so much more self-confidence